Um, so there was a few things I wanted to talk about. Um, One of the things was I was watching his education this morning, and I watch it probably a couple times a month, and it's a funny show. It's he just does memes and TikToks, but you kind of see like how other people are seeing things. But he gets a lot of these SJW TikToks. I guess people send him stuff to post. And some of their stuff is just beyond imagination how they look at things. It's like, what in the hell? I don't understand how you see this like this. We all have our own perspectives, but I don't know. The push of some of this agenda is just so ridiculous. And like now birds are racist, the air is racist. You can switch your gender throughout the day. You can be whatever you want. Wear a bracelet to identify, like what people should call you. It's like, oh my God, this stuff is ridiculous. Like, how can you even? Your gender is your gender. You're born a gender. You want to switch it, then be somebody who switches it all the time. If you can't identify yourself, you're just so confused, you don't even know what or who you are. And you need to switch it. But it seems so silly too that you have to have people refer to you by the proper name. Or what? Does it just blow the whole thing? People call you the wrong thing. Is it just like, I'm zapped back, I didn't want to be a girl today, now I am, don't call me a she? It's like, what in the hell, people? This is ridiculous. You are your gender. You're that gender to have experience. If you are very, very confused about uh, your gender, then possibly you are born many times in reincarnation as the other gender, and it just feels kind of awkward. But you still came to experience life through that gender. And, maybe your feelings are all coming from within you, but there's so much of the stuff that's coming from outside of you that is controlling your mind. I have a hard time thinking that there's this many people in the world right now who have no idea what I am. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be that. And they want to take away Father's Day. How dare we have fathers? It is so it wouldn't be so stupid if it wasn't just such a pushed agenda on us, just the way that the people just push it with the controllers is just like, you guys, you're participating in their game, you're playing along in their charade. You got to stop. You got to self-identify. You got to get in touch with your own self. um there's just so much focus in certain groups on certain things, like racism. It's like, I think in my whole life, my whole entire life, and this is growing up in the South, I swear to God, I have maybe met one or two racist people a year. Like, most people are not racist. That's a manipulation of our minds. Most people are not racist at all. Most people, there may be people who don't understand different groups and don't know them and stuff like that because they haven't had much influence or involvement with them. That doesn't mean they hate them. What would they have to hate them? Hate is ignorance. If you hate a group and you don't even know anything about them, that's just ignorance. But the thing is that the government wants us to focus on that. They want to get this group all riled up. They want to get this group to rile up and support them, to be willing to throw their own children into the bus. This morning, I heard a woman on this education saying that her 5-year-old, I thought she was talking about infant, but I guess her 5-year-old, when she cries, the 11-year-old boy tries to comfort her. And how wrong that is. We should not be comforting white women, not even from the beginning. This needs to stop. It's like, oh my God, are you really so caught up in this? You throw your own kids under the bus like that? Man, I just cannot even, for the hate going on white men right now. I have a white man grandson. I have a lot of white man brothers. And, I mean, it's just so crazy to think that these people think that that's how we're going to fix this world. We're going to just hate everybody. It's like, oh my God, this is just such nonsense. You've got to see through the bullshit. You got to see through this nonsense that they're pushing. It's an agenda to keep us divided because they do this fucking nonsense while we're all scrambling to argue about nonsense. They're doing shit behind our backs all the time. Luckily, people have started waking up and can see what's happening, but Jesus Christ. It's just as mind-boggling that there's so many people who just, like, it makes sense. This shit makes sense to you? Air? Birds? Oh, my God, it's probably why the geese didn't come back. Too many white people. They stayed down south, I think, because they needed multicultural environment. Yeah. This is the nonsense that goes on with people. All I can get out of it is you're just not in touch with yourself at all. At all. Because you would have something inside of you that's telling you nonsense. That's just so ridiculous. But just the whole thing is just such an agenda. The whole thing with the race, the whole thing with the gender, all of it. And people just... And the other thing, too, is these people who want to, they're just all for the government taking over everything. The government's going to do that. They're going to spend $19 trillion or some bullshit on infrastructure. They're going to come put electric charging stations out here, rural. Why? Yeah, I can see like maybe a couple of gas stations, but I've seen where people, you can go in a gas station and plug your car in. You know, you got to be a little bit better prepared if you're going to travel across the whole world in an electric car. Bring a damn extension cord. Like, oh my God, what in the hell? Yeah, we need to spend all this money putting charging stations all across the whole world. Okay, so you can't see that they're going to push you then to buy an electric car, which we already know they've already invested in these electric cars. So then they're going to have to buy these electric cars. Well, how much do you think they're going to sell these for? They're going to get they're going to get this whole system all set up. You think they're going to just be giving you this stuff? No, they're out to create a complete poverty for you. They don't want you to have anything. They're pushing the agenda hard. Why would you own a home? You don't need to own a home. A home owner is, the worst thing that you could have. They don't want you to have anything. They don't want you to have your health. They don't want you to have any, they don't want you to have control of your damn mind. And what was some other things on this stupid fucking infrastructure? But they're, the whole thing is that this group of people who have got themselves, the regime, they put themselves in power. This isn't just like some politicians here. That's what people is like, how do you not see what's happening? The government controller system that is taking over other places, that they are doing that here. They have put themselves in power and control. They won't lose it. Dictators don't lose control. They'll keep themselves in power and they'll keep taking rights, but they'll tell us, oh, this is going to be good for you. I've heard it my whole fucking life. It was going to be so good for us when we started getting everything from China. Oh, it's going to be so good, people. As we take away all business, take away all ways for you to be able to make money and, get ahead. No, that's not what they want. They went in, first thing, burn down the cities, burn down small businesses. They don't want business owners. They don't want us to own business. The corporation is in competition with us over who's going to have control. They don't want us to have control in our own lives. They don't want us to be independent. They don't want us to think for ourselves or be able to do anything for ourselves. They want us completely dependent on them, so they have the ultimate control. They can keep pushing the agendas to create the fighting so that we kill each other. We got so much murder going on right now because people are so frazzled because they believe the bullshit. And I mean, what is even so disgusting to me is, what's that fox called? That fucking old relic with all the money. I don't even want to say his name, but it starts with an S, and it's like Toro. And he has been in a lot of interviews, especially a long time ago before, when he was talking about how, you know, I think it was during the time when he was doing this to the Ukraine, because he's done this, you know, he's one of the fingers of the, you know, the cabal, or whatever you want to call them, the controllers, the corporate world out there that's trying to take over the earth. And they want to do it with their AI, their corporation, just control us all and have us all do whatever they want. That's their ultimate goal. And to have way less of us. There's too many of us. They don't need this many. And, but he was caught, wasn't a hot mic, as he was saying it, just blatantly right out there. But the easiest people to get fired up and to overreact, he said, were black people, because they're so ignorant. He fucking said that. And but there's all these people that think like, oh no, these groups that they're out to help us. Like, okay, if you think that BLM is out to help anybody, look into it. Look into what they do with the money. Look into who is the people who are on the board. Look into their connections. Look into what is going on with the money. If you think it's doing anything to help black people, then you are completely have no clue what's happening. You really need to start from point A and start looking shit up, because there is nothing they're doing to help these people. Those are front organizations in order to funnel money back to themselves. And then they always have to create the crisis so that they can come in and save it with their new organization. And that's what they're doing. And, you know, the black people, they have been targeted. And it's not about racism, like what they try and push on us. It's about their blood and their melanin and stuff. They don't care about the people. They care about what's inside of them. Like they want those girls to get pregnant and not have dads. They want those girls to go in and get abortions. They want those girls to go try and raise kids by themselves when they're 15 and have CPS get involved, and those kids just magically disappear. Yeah, they want all that in those communities. It's not racist. Like, I don't know, just racism is different. Like they're using these words, they're trigger words. They're just words that they are manipulating to create an emotional trigger in people. And racism is just such a big one. It's just so weird too. But I mean, a long time ago, yeah, there was a racism. You know, they treated black people like they were not on their level, not the same kind of human. They treated them like they were animals, like people treat dogs. And I believe the world has changed a lot since then. I have not ever walked outside and seen a black person hanging from a tree. Never. That used to be something that went on. Like, how can we not see we've come a long ways? Like, oh, and this bothered me too. I was watching something the other day. Oh, it was corporate animals. And, you know, they have the woman, the character, the boss of these people, she's just so over the top of just the worst person. But there was a thing that they said. She said something like, you aren't hanging like fruit from a tree or something like that. And right when she said this thing about the fruit in the tree, she went right to the black girl. That's what they showed on the camera, was a black girl. I mean, there's even a song about that. There's like, that's what the people back then would say, you know, that because it had black people hanging on trees. Like that was like the warning to other black people. And they would do horrible things. That's, you know, that's racism, and it's not like that. And, you know, I wasn't living back in those times, or if I was, I can't remember it. And you know, they tell us all the time all of these horrible stories about the slave owners, but I don't think every single person is the same. I'm sure there was some who had those people that didn't think of them as like, I own these human beings. They were just like, I have these workers, I give them a home, I give them food. Not everyone is out there beating people to death and stuff. I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of that, but I don't know. I can't get so caught up in something hundreds of years ago when it's not happening currently. We've changed. We've evolved. We're not those people anymore. Things are different. Then they want to keep us hung up back in this dirty, dark time, you know? Like you're going to go to Germany and Merkel's just sitting there talking about the fucking Holocaust nonstop. We don't need that again. Like... Okay, well, you guys are the ones trying to create it, so you've got everybody, you know, focused on what you want them to focus on, the bullshit, so everybody fights. And they keep them so wound up in their heads, they can't fucking think for themselves. This is just, sometimes when I go in and I see, like, what's going on, it's just, like, so, that's why you can't do it all the time. It's just so irritating. It just is so frustrating. And one of the biggest frustrations is just how they treat us so, like we're so stupid. We're so fucking stupid that we can't see through the bullshit. Yeah, there's some people who can't see through it, but they're all brainwashed. They're all stuck in this indoctrination place in their head that they can't get out of. It's just like a loop or something. You know, I really don't have a clue how to even get through to somebody. Like, if you're listening to me, I mean, you would have already turned it off. You would have already thought I sound like a crazy person, a racist, a bigot, all this stuff. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. But anyways, there was some other stuff I want to talk about. There was another thing, too, that I wanted to, something I watched. But anyways, I'll start back because this is already 18 minutes of me bitching about shit. But I just, you know, hopefully the conversation starts switching and people start seeing, you know, that people are fucking with your emotions. People are just manipulating you, using these emotional charged issues. And they're convincing you with fake news that certain things are happening that aren't happening. You know, like one thing I saw today across the whole thing on the breaking news, they're still digging people out in Miami or something, some condo or something collapsed. There's going to be a lot of bad stuff. I mean, we are purging out the evil to move into the new age. And you know, something like that is going to show, like, they didn't, this I think makes the most sense. If people can just wrap their heads around this, the whole world, the whole political system, everything is run by the mafia. Just think of it that way. Everything. Then you start understanding the bullshit with the recycling and what they're doing. Making third world countries take our fucking garbage and they can walk through it. They won't even, you know, you just start thinking of it like that. And there's lots of shows that show how they, I mean, it is an infiltration of the controllers, the cabal, all of them. It's the same dynamic as the mafia. And that is what we've been being run by, is a criminal enterprise. And they're manipulating you. They're selling you things you don't need, because, they're supplying it, because they're getting rich off of us, because it's their system. So anyways, there was some more stuff I wanted to talk about, but hopefully people just start really seeing through the bullshit, because it's just so much bullshit and such a manipulation. And so I'm going to say another one in a sec.